welcome to Reviews That Don't Matter with Jessica Hitt. My name is Jessica, and today's episode we are doing Anastasia, the 1997 cartoon and musical. Why? Not quite sure. Then again, this is probably the most on-brand thing of my channel because it really does not make any sense and doesn't really matter how I review this. Honestly though, I did find a really intriguing documentary that was on YouTube about the last four princesses of Russia, and the Tsar, the last Tsar and Tsarina, or whatever it is, and Anastasia being the youngest daughter, and basically how they were murdered. And then it goes into this whole theory about how Anastasia has somehow escaped that murder of their entire family after being captured and then destroyed by the Bolsheviks. Basically, the theory was that somehow she got away and that Anastasia, the last princess, was still alive, and that's how this movie was made, when in fact, she was murdered at 17 years old, so. But back to the animated musical from 1997, voiced by Meg Ryan, Anastasia is trying to figure out where she's from. She cannot remember because she knocked her head on as a kid as she was escaping from the Soviet Revolution. So, fun stuff, fun stuff. Now, I love this movie. I do love it. I loved it as a kid. I remember one of my favorite dolls I ever had was the Anastasia doll that had the little like twisty top that would make her hair grow. And I remember she had her really nice dress and then the really frumpy like sack that she wore at the beginning, which is mainly what I had her in because I thought it was cooler than the nice gown. Don't know what that says about me. Anyway, I was completely obsessed with Anastasia, and I think it's still one of the most underrated musicals of the late 90s. And honestly, I haven't seen it in years. I don't know if it was gonna live up to what I thought of it, and it's on Netflix right now. So I turned it on, I watched it, especially after I did a whole bunch of reading up on Anastasia and how she was murdered, and really quite depressing stuff. So I watched it, and you know what? I still like it. It's still a good movie. I will say I wasn't crazy about the animation style of this, and a lot of the transitions were very weird. There was a lot of fading in and out of random scenes, like it's just strange. Like there's literally like scenes where they're starting to walk down a staircase and it fades to them finishing the last step of that staircase, like they needed to show that. So very, very strange. I do think the music in this film is awesome. Some of the best songs in these animated musicals. I mean, you have Journey to the Past, you have Once Upon a December, you have If I Can Learn to Do It, I think is the name of it, and then also you have a great villain song. Rasputin's In the Dark of the Night is fantastic. Also, Rasputin in this movie is really kind of creepy. He's a dead man, basically a zombie. And his limbs keep falling off and like eyeballs, and like he's down in the pit of his stomach with the rest of his head and his little bat friends in there. And he basically has demons as his other sidekicks, not counting the fun bat, who I really enjoy. But the demons are really freaky, and they like destroy a giant train track, and then they like, a lot of things happen. There's like a whole dream sequence of her trying to get back to her brother and sisters and her family when she's really about to commit suicide off of a boat in the middle of this ocean. Honestly, a really dark movie. And you know what I'm gonna say? Rasputin in this movie is one of the best animated villains of all time. There, I said it. Hate on me, Disney fans. I do love Disney though, so keep that in mind. Let's get into some other characters in this movie. Obviously, we have Anastasia, and I think Meg Ryan did a good job voicing her. I think she's got a lot of spunk. I do really like how her character developed, and I felt like she took the bull by the horns for most of this movie. She wasn't led through most of this movie. And she also was like the real reason why the villain was defeated in the end. You know, they had Dimitri there, who I think was a great secondary character and a good love interest. But you know, he tried to come in with the white knight and the shining armor, but she's the one who saved the day. So I really enjoyed that. And this was like right around the time of like Mulan coming out, and I remember like, I was like, the strong woman in me was really coming out, and I had all of these really great animated icons to live up to. But that's something I really enjoyed. I thought that she was a great heroine. I feel like this is a great movie to show young women. I feel like a lot of young girls do not know about this movie. which is a shame. It just got made into a Broadway musical, which looks fantastic, and I would love to see it, and I would really want to see it when it goes on the road, because you know I can't afford those Broadway musicals in New York, because I can't even afford a trip to New York. I just don't feel like this movie gets enough love. I don't feel like the character of Anastasia gets enough love, even though it's completely inaccurate and obviously not a thing. And you know, if the true story was she got murdered at 17 along with her family, got shot to death after being captured for about a year or so. But it would be great if this was the real story. It's also kind of what every like orphan or someone who didn't know their parents really wanted to happen, was to actually be like a princess and find their prince and, you know, fall in love and have all this thing. And in the end, she chooses to just go off with Dimitri, and she's just like, yeah, I'll see you later, Grandma, but you know, I'm not really for this. I'm just gonna go live with the street rat, really. And I like it. I like that ending. I like how she was totally fine with knowing who she was and being with this guy that I think proved to be enough for her and like a good enough person for her. Even though he's a con man, but still. I mean, he wasn't like a terrible con man. We don't know. He probably did some stuff to some people that is not so great. I'm giving this movie an A+. I love this movie. You guys should watch it. If you have, comment down below. Tell me what you think about the movie. You know, this is so random. Anyway, don't forget to subscribe. I make reviews Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So I will see you guys Wednesday with another review. Don't know what I'm doing. We'll see. Maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll do John Wick or something. I haven't seen that yet.